for last year was 3.5 billion. We'll use the billion word. 3,500 billion. That's what they spent. They had income to spend 3,017 billion. You do the math, you come up with 483 billion, where they spent 14% more than what we gave them to spend. That's how, now I'm doing the math, I'm not thinking that's a really good thing. If the budget went to zero, or it went positive, I would be hurling those headlines. Great reduction, great news. They still are $483,000 million overspent. And the news media covers it up with headlines like, hit 7-year low. Oh my God, what was it before? Just saying. Obama plans to break the spending cap by 7%. This is another headline. I mean, it just rolled in the paper in the Wall Street Journal. I got a little bit depressed on this. He's not content to just overspend and add to the crushing national debt we already have. He wants to ask Congress to increase spending another $74 billion, or 7% more. We already have, well, we got the lowest deficit in 7 years, so I guess we could spend some more money. That's his thinking. It's a direct attempt to end the sequestration that was forced upon him, which was his idea to start with 3 years ago. This was where they cut everything, just boom, across the board, and the military took it in shorts real hard. Well, you know, he now says, I don't like that, I don't want to do that, we want to spend more, because hey, now my deficit is really low. Guess 7-year low, didn't we just see that? So let's spend some more. He basically lied when he promised to shave $2 trillion off the deficit in 10 years. That's what he said. It didn't happen. He's spending it over. That's called a lie. It's simple, black and white. He's a liar. My thing is, my personal opinion, can you trust anything the man says?
No.
Sequestration, I want to reduce this, I want to do that. We already went through the Obamacare stuff. I really get to the point where I don't think I can trust anything he says. I don't think he's a bad person, I just don't think he thinks through when he says things. And the press just picks it up and runs with it as gospel truth. These are the facts, I'm not making these up. The media covers it up, all because it's Obama, or the Democrats, one or the other. The result of federal deficit spending. Okay, this is where we are now. This is where we stand. $18 million in debt. $18 million. I can use the word trillion, it means nothing. $18 million. That's talking some money. Each person in this room, every one of you people, including me, owes $186,000 to pay off the debt. If we wanted to pay it off right now, get rid of it, everyone's got to cough up $186K. Obama increased the debt from 10.8 trillion to 18 trillion, or 7.2 trillion in the last 8 years. It had 10.8 to start with, so he's not responsible for it all. But in 8 years, he bumped it up 7.2 trillion. It's a ton of money. 7.2 trillion is $7,200 million. Whoa, that's money. The interest payments on the national debt are now $221 billion. $221,000 million. That's just interest. It's like your credit cards. It's interest. That's $184,000 million per month. This is interest. It's not touching the debt. $45,000 million per week. You go per day, per minute, per second. It got too depressing. I thought we'd cut it off right there. But anyway, so much for let's spend some more money. I don't think that's a good idea. Now, if you were the family, if the federal government spent like the family, how would you do it? Okay, and if your family, the median income is $51,000 a year. That's how much you've got to spend. Cash. Let's say it's net. You spend $60,500. You just can't control your spending. you put the additional $9,500 a year on your credit card. Right now, you're throwing that on your credit card. The credit card balance is just a measly $300,000. You have to pay your mortgage, your car payment, your food, your rent, your electric, and all that stuff. That's where that $51,000 would go. You don't have extra money. You got a $300,000 debt. I would ask anyone in this room, if you were running a business, would you say, let's spend more money. Let's add more to our debt. Let's pay that. Okay, just keep dumping it on there. If that was a spouse, how long would a marriage last if a spouse was doing this? Over a course of years, and they got $300,000 in debt. That'd be a very, very difficult situation. This is what we got. And the media says lowest deficit in 7 years. Deficit down to the lowest in Obama's presidency. Didn't we just read that? Okay? This is when I go, I don't quite understand that. I must not be smart enough. Okay, who went to see American Sniper? Who liked American Sniper? All right, really good movie. And unfortunately, some of the people on the left don't really like American Sniper. They think it's a pretty terrible movie. It's recently been reported to be the top grossing movie for like war films of all times, kind of right up there with Saving Private Ryan or Saving Private Ryan. I think it just surpassed it. And it's going to be on the way to be probably one of the biggest grossing films ever made. It's a movie about love for America. And this is my take on the movie. This is my take. It's a love for America. It's a love of the people who serve their country. If you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's a movie about hard work, perseverance. It's a movie about American values. It's patriotism. It's a sense of duty. This guy was driven. If we had 10,000 people in the Tea Party with the way this guy was driven, we could rule the world. Period. Without a sniper rifle, it just rule the world. Liberals like Seth Rogen, I don't even know who he is. I don't even know who he is. Michael Moore, I know him, and Howard Dean, they just hate the movie. You know, apparently because of what the movie portrays and stands for. They're sitting there saying, if you liked American Sniper, you're stupid, you're hateful. You just hate. Because snipers are cowards. They're just unfair. And they poor, wrecky people were just victims of these mean old, this terrible person. Now, you know, and you're a typical Tea Party kook if you went and liked it. Well, unfortunately, since it's going to be probably the best grossing movie in at least the last 50 years or ever, their liberal viewpoints don't seem to really cut much butter with the rest of America. We seem to like it, they don't. What's the problem here? It's like having 50 million Chinese over here, you got one idea and you got the other. I mean, my dad used to say 50 million Chinamen can't all be wrong. Right? So there's an issue there. Can you see any clearer example of how twisted the liberal mind is? Not all Democrats, just these liberals, these ultra-liberals. They're twisted. They take American Sniper movie and they make it into a bad thing. Make it a terrible thing. This is how twisted and out of touch these people are. And just as a footnote, today, Greg Abbott has called it Chris Kyle Day here in Texas. Can we give a round of applause for that? He's a great man. If you haven't seen the movie, you need to go. And you need to sit there until the end of the movie when they run the credits and see how this state came out for that man. It is phenomenal. We went to the 4 o'clock show up there at Hollywood, sold out, both of them, 2 theaters. I'm working on it. She's working on my kneecap. Anyway, we got that. Great movie. Okay, you got a friend. Who knows James Brown, I guess, James Taylor. You got a friend. Who knows that song? I do. Okay, everybody, can we sing along? Oh, we can't. Cindy says I can't. Okay, this is a gift that just keeps on giving. This is the truth. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Okay? I saw this and I just shook my head and said, I can't believe this. I just can't picture this. Anyway, Obama snubs the major French peace march over there for the Charlie killings and all that, these massacres from these terrorists. It's a terrible thing. The French, of course, are mad. Everybody else seems to send their representative, their prime minister, their president, but Obama doesn't send anybody, for whatever reason, I don't know. The French are mad. Obama goes, well, I'll fix it. I'm going to send John Kerry. And by the way, he did serve in Vietnam. Everybody know that? Okay, just make sure we know that. He sent him over there with James Taylor to sing a song to the French. He sings a song, You Got a Friend, to the French. And John Kerry looks on in the video that I saw on the internet, just in wonderment, like this is such a wonderful thing. At the end of the song, everything's patched up. The French love us. We're good. We're now buddies again because we sang, You've Got a Friend. Now, what's the world going to think? What are the terrorists going to think in ISIS and the Al-Qaeda people? They're over there laughing like jackals. They're going, I can't believe this people. I can't believe these people. I guarantee you, it didn't come from anybody but the top guy. The top guy said, yes, you do that. They're laughing at us. They're laughing at America. They're not laughing at America. They're laughing at America's leader. That's what it comes to. The media covers it up. Didn't hear much about it. They covered it up. I would ask, just with a show of hands, if George W. Bush or Ronald Reagan had done this, who do you think the media would be all over it, just chastising it and just beating it to death? Oh, yeah. Show of hands. Who thinks? Okay, it's a pretty smart audience. They didn't get anything. They covered it up. I'm just saying this is the stuff that you see. It's just kind of irritating. Okay, how much does Texas have to spend on the federal budget deficit? I got to run quick here. I'm going to run through these. There's a lot of numbers. It just kind of gives you an idea of the scope of the money that's coming through in Austin down there. Texas has basically $221 billion to spend for its two-year cycle. It's 9.5% more than the budget was in the 2014-2015 budget. Taxes make up about $109 billion in revenue. This is key. Federal government income. Stuff that comes from the feds with strings attached on a platter saying, here, I'll give you this, but this is what you got to do for it. You got to dance to my tune. $72.9 billion, or about a third of the money Texas has to spend, comes complete from the federal government. And I'm going to really talk really quick because I'm getting a look. Sales tax is 63% of the total tax. When you buy something, you got sales tax. Say, here you go, Mr. Texas government, it's yours. 37% auto sales tax, oil production fees, franchise tax, insurance taxes, and lottery proceeds, which I thought were going to go to the universities, but apparently they go to the general fund. But who knows? They're going to get an extra $7.5 billion from above income that they didn't anticipate this year because of oil and gas. That's going to go bye-bye because oil and gas has gone down. Rainy day fund's going to get some more money. It should be $11 billion by 2017 if they don't drain it first. And if we keep voting to give them permission to drain it, ain't going to be nothing left. How many major taxes are there? This is off Glenn Hager's site for Texas Controller. Just giving you stuff: sales tax, motor tax, fuel tax, franchise, insurance, blah, 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 blah. All these, and there's a ton more of these. This just gives you kind of an idea how you want it. We'll put this on this will of course be on the YouTube. You can look at this a little closer if you want. But you can go in there to Google, the website, check it out, and it'll come up for you. You can see where all your money comes from. Super Bowl commercials. Who watched the Super Bowl? All right, just quick. Who wanted Seattle to win? Who wanted the Patriots to win? Sorry. Although it was looking really bad 25 seconds before the end of the game. It looked really bad for me. But I said Patriots by 3. I was only 1 off. I'm pretty good. 30-second ad during the Super Bowl cost $4.5 million for a 30-second ad. That's $150,000 a second for an ad on the Super Bowl. Incredible. I heard today it was 114 million people watched the Super Bowl. That's why they can get that money. Some companies spend their entire budget for advertising in a year in a 30-second ad in the Super Bowl. So that's when you see those little puppies and the Clydesdales and all that stuff, and scantily clad girls and all that. That's why, because they want you to see it, they want you to remember. For $150,000 a second, I'd want you to remember my ad too. I just thought that was really incredible. Koch brothers, it's pronounced Koch brothers, they're going to spend up almost $900 million. Koch brothers are a conservative group of guys. They have some like-minded donors. They're going to, don't worry about this misspelling, I was late at night. They're going to spend this on the 2016 presidential and congressional campaigns. $900 million. That's a lot of change. It's about equal to the amount that each political party will spend on its 2016 presidential campaign. They are a player to be reckoned with. Platform is to push for candidates that support deregulation, tax cuts, smaller government. That's their main things. They're business guys. They're looking to grow business. They're looking to grow an environment for business that's conducive to business. They only spent $400 million in the 2012 campaign, so they really upped their game this time. A recent event, no Republican Party leaders were invited. They didn't have the big guys. They didn't have, Boehner and those kind of folks. They had the rising stars in the party. That is where the future is. 4 attended the last event. Scott Walker, Marco Rubio. Cindy's giving me the evil eye, man. It's all her because I'm running over time. So anyway, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, and Ted Cruz. Man, she's got me here. She's got me. Anyway, liberals are terrified. They're terrified of these people. They're terrified of what this money can do. They're terrified of actually having people willing to spend money to get their message out. It's their message, by goodness, and you don't have a right to put it out. So we're going to have to shut you down. We're terrified. We're going to do something about it. They want their message out. They don't want you to have anything else. But that's what they're going to do. So, incredible. These Koch brothers, they're making a statement. Fun and interesting first. Okay, I'm going through these real quick. I got to go through it. 3500 BC, wheels first used as pottery, turntables, and on wagons. This is just kind of fun. I already kind of depressed you with the deficit and stuff, so here's some fun stuff. 776 BC, first Olympic Games in Greece. Okay? That's where the marathon guy rolled and died and said we won, and then he died. 9th century AD, gunpowder discovered by Chinese. They're looking for an immortality elixir. They weren't looking for gunpowder, they were looking to live forever. It didn't seem to work out that way. 859 AD, the world's first university in Morocco, founded by a woman. So, thank you ladies in the crowd here for allowing me to spend all my money at Texas A&M, or our money, at Texas A&M for our daughter down there. 12th century, paper money, used in Europe because they didn't want to carry those heavy coins. 1519 AD, Aztec Indians introduced chocolate to Cortez. Hernan Cortez, he takes it back to Europe. Hershey Kiss begins to sell the next day. Okay. In 1794, the first C-section is American, and it was a girl, by the way. Healthy girl, no problem, by a doctor. 1826, the first photograph is taken in France. 1840, first postage stamp. Queen Victoria's profile, and it cost 1 penny. 1876, the first phone call. Ms. Watson, come here, I want to see you. Reportedly, the second phone call was for a kid for college, pepperoni pizza in a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper from a college kid studying for finals. Nobody knows the second phone call. It's always the first one that gets the notoriety. 1897, German scientist synthesizes aspirin. You never get that on the thing today. That's just way too dangerous. Interesting enough, 2 weeks later, he also synthesizes heroin. It's amazing. 1920, the Band-Aid's born. It was a cotton buyer. His wife was accident prone. He invented it for her injuries. 1969, the internet's born. Data sent between 2 universities in California. That thing we take for granted, it's not that old. 1993, the first smartphone from IBM. And the younger generation starts the downhill slide while texting while driving, as they do today. So, world's shortest books, and this is the very end of it, Cindy, I promise you. Things I Love About My Country by Jane Fonda, Cindy Sheehan, and Michelle Obama. It's illustrated by Michael Moore, foreword by George Soros. These are the shortest books in the world. Okay? Things I Love About Bill by Hillary. Things I Love About Hillary by Oh man, you're good, you're good. Okay? Things we know to be true. Al Gore and John Kerry. I think you get a free CD of You've Got a Friend when you buy that book, by the way. My plan to find the real killers. OJ, he's going to find them one day. He's going to get them. He's on their trail. How to drink and drive safely by? There's only one there. There's only one right there. All right. The Amish phone directory. It's self-explanatory. Oh, that was kind of funny. My book on morals by Bill Clinton. Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are giving a little introduction for that. That's kind of a short one. How to be fair and honest in the Senate by Harry Reid. That's not a big long read right there, you know? I wouldn't put a lot of money in that one. My complete knowledge of military strategy. Here's old Nancy, you know? She's got that strategy down. The shortest books of all time. This is just rumors, what I read. Things I did to make America great and how to cooperate with Republicans in Congress. And things I did to deserve the Nobel Peace Prize by Mr. Obama. They're just short books. Now, most of those facts I got out of a National Geographic. Some of them, I got off the internet. So just to let you know. I want to say thank you. Cindy and I and our board of directors want to thank you for everything you do for us. We don't thank you enough. We appreciate you coming out here in the cold and all that. We appreciate when you help us with our events, with volunteering for stuff, for riding our floats, for coming out and help us at the parades and the balloon race and all that. So in advance, we'd like to say thank you. For those that can, when you help us with some donations at the end of the thing, that helps cover the cost of our speakers and all the other stuff we do. So again, thank you very much. Our group wouldn't be anywhere near as successful as